The stars are right, and that means it's time for another episode of The Whisper in Darkness. I'm your host, the manfromleng. Thank you very much for joining me today. We are streaming this evening. We're picking up our game of Roland Banks and Joe Diamond. It's hard to believe it's already been a month since the last stream where we put these couple city slickers through their paces and tried to get them through Heart of the Elders. Unfortunately, we only ended up getting 4 pillars. So that's where we are starting off today. This scenario, of course, you can restart it as often as you need to finish the 4 pillars. So my goal tonight is to get, I just need 4 clues to finish off the final 2 pillars. And then we can head into Heart of the Elders Part 2. I had planned, part of me had planned skipping this, but you can get VPs out of this. So I felt that was important, and I don't want to cheat and simply skip this because I really dislike this particular scenario. We are going to play it through, come hell or high water, and we will see how we do. We are set up here and ready to go in Octagon. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream tonight. I have some time off work this month, so it is an unusual Wednesday night stream here for me. Usually I'm streaming on weekends, but we're going to be doing a little bit more streaming this month on weekdays. So I hope that you will be able to join me and come out and help play along. Sometimes your input is huge in the end. So we are set up. We have Roland and Joe here, sitting at the mouth of Kinyan, the Cavern's Maw. We've got 4 pillars on it. We need 2 more, which means we need to grab 4 clues, and then take this action on opening the maw twice in order to finish it off, and then we can move on to Heart of the Elders Part 2, which will be nice to play. And then, of course, we will be on to City of Archives. Joe and Roland will become Yithians, and we will see how they do there. So we are going to set this off. I think we are ready to draw our opening hands. Both investigators are poisoned. That should not bode well for being in the jungle. We've already seen their low agility has been a bit of a hindrance to them while they are in the jungle. So we will, hopefully they will do better this time around. It all depends on the encounter card draws, and we shall see how we do. I think we will draw our opening hand. We will shuffle things up here and see how we do. Roland, he gets a Pathfinder, a Beat Cop, an Inquiring Mind, another Inquiring Mind, and his weakness, Chronophobia. We will replace the weakness with a Logical Reasoning. Now, I like the Pathfinder and the Beat Cop in case we need. It's a Beat Cop level. They should be Beat Cop level 2s. I forgot to change that. That was the other thing. They are Beat Cop level 2s, not level 1s. I think we can safely mulligan one of the Inquiring Minds. The Logical Reasoning for sure. Actually, I don't think we need. Maybe we'll keep one Inquiring Mind just in case we run into a quick agility test. So if we can get a Beat Cop down and a Pathfinder, the Pathfinder isn't all that useful in this one, just because we usually don't go to many locations. We try to finish this off as quickly as we can, but we'll see how it goes. Let's draw 3 cards. We get a Eureka, a I've Had Worse level 2. That's awfully nice since we do have that 2 damage on us. And we get a Machete. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1 too many cards. So we don't get the Machete. So we will shuffle those back in our deck, and we will head over to Joe Diamond, see how he does. He gets a Steadfast, another Steadfast. His weakness, Haunted. There is the Death card, so he will start off with that in play, and a Deduction So this enters play. We're going to mulligan this stuff. I'm going to keep the deduction so we can grab... That's additional clues. We need 4 clues in order to pass this, get through this so we can get on to something better. So we're going to get 3 cards. There's an emergency cache, a pathfinder, and an inquiring mind. Wow. So very similar to what Roland picked up. These 2 investigators are quite similar. In fact, I think they're one of the 2 I think they're only the 2 investigators in the game where you can basically build the same level 0 deck in both investigators. I'm not sure you can do that in many other off-class investigators. So a guardian and a seeker in this case, since they have access to the same card pool. We will start with the death card in play, so that gives us an extra intellect right off the bat. That's awfully nice to have, and we shall see how we do. All right, I think we're ready to start our turn. So we'll give our boys some actions, and here we go. Let's see if we can't get 4 clues and finish this off. Of course, we do have the our friend here, the winged serpent, who will hit us for a damage and a horror if he attacks us, but he cannot make attacks of opportunity. So our trick is to get away from him. Of course, we will also have to try to evade. We'll see. We can't evade him. Not with our agility being what it is. So our only hope here is to find the location we need in the encounter deck, the exploration deck, and get that right quick. So let's see how we do. Now, Joe somebody's got a compass. I think it is. What do we need? If we have the compass, Joe has the compass, so he can use his abilities to peek at the top top 3 cards of the exploration deck, place 1 on the bottom and the other 2 on the top. So that's what we will be doing to try to find that. We need that location so we can move to it. So that will be Joe's first action. We're going to do some exploring here. Let's shuffle up our exploration deck, and we will look at the top 3 cards. There is a Lost in the Wilds. There is the Rope Bridge, and there is a Low on Supplies. So we can place one on the bottom and the other 2 on the top in any order. Okay, so we'll put the Lost in the Wild on the bottom. We'll just store it up there for the time being, and we'll put these 2 back on top. Now we need that location that we can. So let's try one more time. We'll compass again, and hopefully we can get that location we need is in the top bunch. So let's grab the next 3. We've got a Rope Bridge, we've got the Low on Supplies, and we've got Ants. Well, Ants can go at the bottom of the deck. We know we're going to pull a... I think we'll put the Rope Bridge next on the top, and then the Low on Supplies, so we can hit that right away. Not a great start. I was hoping to be able to pull that right off the bat, pull our location, whatever it is, at random. We can go one more time, I think, here. Maybe we can get rid of that other treachery there. We've got a Low on Supplies, the Rope Bridge, and another treachery. Wow, all the treacheries were at the top. We'll put that one at the bottom. We'll put the Pitfall at the bottom. So unfortunately, we are going to hit a treachery, which I believe is going to reshuffle the exploration deck. I just want to check that quickly, because or maybe it won't, because we're not going to actually pull any... where is that about exploration decks? So if the location is drawn, if any other location is drawn, exploration deck, have to actually shuffle each location next to exploration deck. If treachery is drawn, resolve it as normal. Okay, yeah, so we can actually pull that treachery and not have to worry about it. So let's do that with Roland's first action. He will explore, and of course we get the low on supplies. We'll each lose 2 resources. So not great. Not great at all. So that's at least out of the way. So now what we can do is we can explore again. And hopefully we will... yeah, if we explore again and miss it on this one... but we've got 4 of the treacheries out of the way, so let's see how we do here. We knew the rope bridge. There it is. Overgrown ruins is our is the card we were looking for. So all those go back into the deck. Roland gets to move here. There are 2 clues on it. Not resources. Clues. All right. 2 clues. Overgrown ruins, of course, being a 5-shroud location with 1 clue per investigator. Forced after you enter overgrown ruins. If you are poisoned, lose all remaining actions and end your turn. So Roland loses all his actions and ends his turn. So not a great start, but we got 2 of the 4 clues we need. So we need this location and 1 other, which is going to be either the rope bridge, the circuitous, or the circuitous trail, I believe. That's the only 2 we have. Excuse me. I've been getting over a nasty bout of bronchitis, so that has kept me off the airwaves here for the past week and a half. But I really wanted to get back out here and do some streaming and chat with you folks about how your Arkham Horror LCG adventures have been going. So we are going to go to the enemy phase, and the winged serpent will deal a damage and a horror to... Hi John, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. It's rather impromptu, but I'm hoping to do a little bit more streaming this month, as well as some other videos I have in mind. So the winged serpent attacks us. We take a damage and a horror. What do we get for cards? Roland got an art student, which is very nice. We can grab a free clue at this overgrown ruins. And Joe, and I totally forgot about Joe's hunch deck again. Of course, first turn. Let's see what it was. We'll shuffle it up, and it was a scene of the crime. That would have been nice, actually, if we can get an enemy at our location, but right now we do not. So that will be that. I think we're ready to go to our first Mythos phase, so let's advance. So we have 1 Doom on Jungle's Heart, and Roland is our lead investigator, so he will draw first. He will draw a Pit Viper. So there is a Pit Viper in the overgrown ruins. Now, as you may remember, if you kill these things, they come back and they sit in the victory display during Heart of the Elders Part 2. So you really want to try to avoid killing as many as you can. All right. And Joe's card is going to be Poisonous Spores. Attached to your location at the end of the round, each investigator at this location who is poisoned takes 2 horror. So yeah, we want to leave that right quick. And since he is poisoned, we are going to lose all our remaining actions and end our turn once we get to the Overgrown Ruins. So we want to do stuff with him before we get there. We want to make our last action a move into the Overgrown Ruins so we don't lose anything. Now, can we get some clues here? We need 4, and we need to get them as quickly as we can. 5 Shroud, though, that is going to be awfully tough. We're only at 3. Joe has a better chance. We can grab 1 for sure if we play the Art Student, but that means we're going to have to kill this Pit Fiend first. Or Pit Viper first. Pit Fiend, that's a different... that is a different creature entirely for me, an entirely different game. So, who's going to go? I think... excuse me. We will go with Joe first, just so we can get his stuff out of the way, and then move him in, and then maybe he can help Roland if he needs to investigate. Although that seems highly unlikely given his stats at the moment. Yeah, Joe also has that higher education, which we could use as well here if we can get there. So let's see what we can do here. We need to get Joe's we get a logical reasoning for his hunch, which is not going to be all that helpful this turn. What can we do? I think I just want to hold. I think we're going to play the emergency cash. We'll play that to gain some resources because we do have that higher education we can use. But we don't want to lose too many cards. So if we get that, we want to use our last action to move. So I think we'll draw a card. There we get a magnifying glass. Okay, that's good. Let's play that because it's fast. And that bumps us up to 6 intellect. So we do have a pretty good chance at grabbing these 2 clues here next turn. And then we will move to the Overgrown Ruins, and we lose all our remaining actions and end our turn because we are poisoned. So I think Joe's in a good shape to grab those 2 clues next turn. We're rocking a 6 intellect right now, and that would we can drop a deduction and even an inquiring mind or a eureka if need be, and hopefully grab those 2 clues in one shot. We will shuffle his logical reasoning back into his deck. Now I think I don't really want to kill this Pit Fiend, but having 1 vengeance point in the victory display is... I'm not too sure how else we're going to get... We can't really evade it all that well, so let's kill it. We are going to go... We're a 4 versus 3. I think we'll play our Inquiring Mind. So we'll go 7 versus 3. See how the Chaos Bag treats us this time around. Chaos Bag says auto fail, so the answer to that question is not great. The Chaos Bag has decided to start things off with a bang. So we auto fail that sucker right off the bat. We really need to kill this Pit Fiend. So let's get... Joe will commit his Inquiring Mind. Let's try this again. Chaos Bag says -2. So that was a 7 versus 3. So we do succeed. So the Pit Fiend is off to the victory display, unfortunately. So he will be joining us in Heart of the Elders Part 2. if we get that far. Now, I think we want to find that second location. So let's do that. Let's go exploring again. Let's see how we do here. We get the Path of Thorns. That does not match. We're looking for the rope bridge or the circuitous trail. We get a Lost in the Wilds. So unfortunately, those treacheries we shuffled back in have come back to haunt us. Test 3 willpower. If you fail, take 1 horror for each point you fail by and add Lost in the Wild to your threat area. You cannot move or explore. Well, that was our last action, so we are going 3 versus 3. Let's commit the Eureka. Or we could just... Yeah, we've only got 5 sanity. We've got the I've had worse, so we can do with that as well. So let's go 4 versus 3. Chaos Bag says -3. So we drop down to 1. 1 versus 3, but we do have the I've had worse, so we can cancel up to 2 damage or horror and then gain that many resources. So we gain a couple more resources out of the deal and prevent the that Lost in the Wild from hurting us too much. Unfortunately, that's going to be our turn. So we are going to... So this guy moves over and he hits us both for a damage and a horror. All right. So we might actually... Hi, Nicolo. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it tonight. An impromptu stream. We're finishing off Heart of the Elders Part 1. I hope so. Man, oh man, I hate this scenario sometimes. And then we will proceed with Heart of the Elders Part 2. So let's get rid of the poisonous spores since they're going to go away. We go to the enemy phase. We were attacked, and then we go and we draw up to the upkeep. We get a machete and a take the initiative. Okay, that's actually pretty good. We can use the deduction take the initiative to grab these 2 clues, head back, and then we could basically resign and then reset and then do that again, and then we'd be good to go. So I think the most we're going to get out of this is like 2 VPs maybe, depending on which location we get. So that was upkeep. So we add our second Doom of the game. And Roland is up first. Roland gets a snake bite. Test 3 agility. If you fail, you must either take 5 damage to an ally or take 1 direct damage. We're already poisoned, so it doesn't much matter. We're going 2 versus 3. Chaos Bag says -2, so we do fail. We'll take another direct damage. So we're at 4 health already. 4 damage already. Joe's card is going to be the low on supplies. So everybody loses 2 resources or takes a damage. I think we'll lose the resources since we've got lots of those. And that's that. It's turn 3. Turn 3, and we are trying to get these 2 clues so we can get another, we can stack another thing on the mouth and finish off this terrible scenario. I think Joe can go first. Or maybe we should have Roland go first. If Roland goes, we could explore. It's such a problem because this overgrown ruins is such a, it just stops you dead in your tracks. That's the biggest problem. With a little bit of luck, we could grab 2 clues for sure. But we do have, Roland does have a shortcut. So I think let's go exploring. Let's go exploring. So we will shuffle this up. We get the River Canyon. That is not what we need. We get the Path of Thorns. That is not what we need. We get the Time-Racked Woods. That will not do either. We get the Serpent's... Wow. 4 locations in a row, and none of them are the one we need. Let's try number 5. And we get Ants as number 5. Wow. That was terrible. All right, well, we've got how many? 3 out of the deck so far with this one. Ants test for agility. For each point you fail by, discard a random card from your hand or choose and discard a card from your play area. Well, we don't have, all we have is permanents in our play area, so this could cost us pretty much all of our cards. We're going 2 versus 4. I'm just going to... well, we're going to lose the Pathfinder likely anyway, so let's play that to go 3 versus 4. Does Joe have anything? We can go 4 versus 4, just to try to save some cards. Chaos Bag says 0. Hey, look at that. Roland passed an agility check. Wow. Way to go, Roland. Not bad for a city boy. Okay, that was his first action. We're going to go exploring again. We're trying to find either the river, the rope bridge, or the circuitous trail. There's the circuitous trail. And it has 2 clues. And he moves there. Okay. So as an additional cost for you to investigate or explore while at Circuitous Trail, check your supplies. If no investigator at your location has a compass, you must spend 3 resources. Well, we do have a compass, believe it or not. So that's good news. Who has the compass? Joe has the compass. So we need Joe to come back, or we can spend 3 resources. So what we could do, I think as our action, we will spend 2 resources to play the art student and grab ourselves a clue. All right, 3 clues to go, and we can be done with this. So let's now. Joe needs to grab these 2 clues, and then move over here and grab this one, and then we can head on back. Okay. Oh, I screwed that up. I can't take the initiative now. Shoot. 6, 7, 8. I'm going to go 8. So we'll commit the deduction and the Eureka to go 8 versus 5 to get 2 clues. Chaos Bag says Skull. That is a -3 if you were at a cave location. We are not. So it's only a -1. So we pass. All right. So we grab 2 clues. We grab those 2 clues, and we will, we get to search the top 3 cards of our deck. Top 3. What do we get? We get a death card, a take the initiative, and a deduction. I guess we take the initiative just because that'll help us pass a test. We don't need the deduction. So we'll do that. Okay, we've got 2 actions remaining. So if we move over, so how does this work? Just investigators at the mouth may spend 1 clue per investigator as a group. So does Roland have to be there? If Roland has the clues, but can Joe spend them? That's a good question. No, investigators have to be there to spend them. Okay, so Roland will have to get there. But what we could do is move and lock down this winged serpent for a turn. So let's do that. We will move back, and then we will take our action to spend 2 clues to grab another pillar. And this guy will be exhausted, and he will be locked down for the next turn. So what we can do next turn, Roland grabs this clue, he moves in here, he loses everything, but then he moves with shortcut to get in there, and then we can use Joe to take the action to spend the clues, I believe. Investigators at the mouth may spend 1 clue per investigator as a group. So I don't think it matters. He just has to be there, but then Joe can spend the clues. So hopefully we can finish this off next turn. So that's going to do it. We will bring this guy to the front just so we don't forget about him. And upkeep. Roland draws a calling in favors. That is very good timing. Because what we can do now is we can play calling in favors for 1, bounce the art student back to our hand, then play the art student again to grab that clue, then move, then shortcut in, and we're done. So that's really nice. Very nice play. And Joe gets a regular old beat cup. All right. If we can make it through this mythos phase, that's always the trick. So we're going to go. Roland is first. Roland grabs the basilisk. Prey nearest to the mouth of Kinyan Hunter. Yikes. He is rough. He is rough. Rough. Okay. So we could get rid of him if we could shuffle a copy of the basilisk. Can we take the damage, though? We'd have to go... Man, 4 health. Oh, that's brutal. That's a tough one. I wish it had come out a turn sooner, because then we could have shuffled it away. And Joe is going to get the Apex Strangleweed. So it is hanging out. So not a great turn for our guys here. I'm not too sure how we do this now. How do we do this? Playing that would take us to 6. If we play the machete, that would bring us up to 5 versus 4. Two hits with the machete and we kill it, but that's pretty tough. Otherwise, we're in deep, deep trouble. Yeah, that's a really bad draw right then. Shoot. So if I move, I think I might just have to take the resign here. Hi Juicy, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. How are things going in your part of the world on this fine day for you, I would guess? Evening here. If we move and take an attack of opportunity, we'd be at... We can lose the art student. That would put us at 5. Then we could shortcut over. We'd be at 7. We'd take 1 from him, which would be 8. He could tank the strangleweed for a turn. And then we just wait. Yeah, separating. The game is going about as well as games go with Heart of the Elders Part 1. We always seem to get into these situations where you can... It's easy to get 2 clues, but to get 4, it's trickier. I think that's what we're going to have to do. We're just going to take the... I can't really kill this guy. Not at 5 versus 4, with the Chaos Bag being what it is. So I think we're going to just go... So we will move once, taking the attack of opportunity. So our poor girl dies, and we take 1. So we lose all of our actions. Yeah, that well. Yeah, so we're going to take another attack. That's going to put us at 7... 8. Hi, Kajal. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. Damn it. It's only during your turn, eh? Well, we can resign next turn. So I think Joe just resigns. We just resign and leave the strangleweed here. We hope Roland makes it through the next Mythos phase, because then he can play shortcut and then resign and we're out. So Joe just quits, because Joe hates the jungle. Joe is no fan of the jungle. So we will go to the enemy phase. Oh, he only takes 1 attack, though, so that's good. So he will take an attack from that thing, because this guy's still locked down until the end of the turn. And we go to upkeep. We draw guts. And so this is it. We just need to survive this mythos phase. And we will be out. Joe draws a ants. Okay, that doesn't do us any harm whatsoever. We just take the test. We get a +1. Wow. Okay, so that's a 3 versus a 4. So we discard a random card from our hand or choose and discard a card from our play area. We can't do that. So we will just random discard. We lose the guts. We play the shortcut. We move here and we resign. So we reset. We're 1 closer. We've got 5 of 6. So we'll reset and do this one more time because I love this scenario so much. All right, so we need to load. This one. Okay. Yeah, this scenario has a way of just grinding you down. Really annoying. I hope they fix it. I really hope they fix it somehow in Return to the Forgotten Age. I don't know what they can do to try to make this better, but the way it is now is not good. It's just not a fun scenario to play, and it's a huge block. It's a huge barrier to get past once you get to this. If you're playing this campaign, I always find it I just don't want to play this campaign because of this particular scenario. It's just not fun. But we are going to do it anyway because for the viewers love this sort of thing. They love watching me play Heart of the Elders Part 1. So we will get Joe up here. And hopefully we can finish it off this turn. Well, we should be able to finish it off this one. All we need is all we need is 2 clues and we're done. So that should be good. And we will be finished and we will play part 2. Alrighty. We need to go get a random location. And we'll be ready to go. All right, let's see how we do for our hands. Yeah, this is a low. It was a low during Arkham Knights. It's a low now. I hope they fix it. I don't know how they can. Like, just give me 6 pillars. Just skip the scenario. That would be my... Like, play it once, and then that should be good. But you know, Matt Newman's a great designer. He'll come up with some way of hopefully improving this. I have faith. All right, let's see how Roland's deck draw is. We get a Calling in Favors, a Chronophobia, a 45 automatic, Alejandro Vela, and Cover Up. Wow, look at all those weaknesses. Another Calling in Favors and an Inquiring Mind. Well, let's dump this. Dump this hand. Wow, what a terrible hand. We'll get 4 more. There's a Machete, a Eureka, a Fieldwork, and Roland's 38 Special. So we've got all the weapons this time. And we got Joe gets Take the Initiative, a Mag Glass, an Emergency Cash, an Inquiring Mind, and a Beat Cop. Let's pitch everything but the Magnifying Glass. Vicious Blow, Haunted, Machete, and Shortcut. Haunted goes, and we get another Inquiring Mind. Yeah, he sometimes the scenarios just don't work out. From my understanding, in the Search for Kadath was one that he had some trouble designing as well. It was I believe that's the one that he was struggling with, and seemed to take I think it took him a little bit longer than normal to design that particular scenario. And it's not surprising, really, because when you look at that scenario, the mechanics of it, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of moving parts. So to get all those parts into the right places would be pretty tough. I need to add some trauma, 2 physical and 1 mental for Roland, and 2 physical for Joe. All right. Well, we're ready to go here. Who's got the compass? Joe's got the compass. Let's do some exploring. Let's see. Top 3: Serpent's Haven, Rope Bridge, and Circuitous Trail. Wow. I don't know which one of those to send at the bottom. Circuitous Trail, I guess. Let's try that one more time. Oh, we need this guy too. Sorry. You come here. So we get Serpent's Haven, Rope Bridge, and wow. Look at all these. Not a single I guess we'll drop the River Canyon. And I know it's hard to say with so we explore. If we just explore, we can do it one more time. Might as well. Oh my god, look at all those locations. Like, there were 5 locations on the top of the deck. Yeah, actually, let's reverse that. Let's get rid of the Serpent's Haven, because we're poisoned, and that's bad news. Well, what's the odds that our... I guess Roland will explore. So we know there are 3 locations that don't do us any good. Oh, we get a low on supplies, so we'll each lose 2 resources. And that goes away. Now we get to reshuffle. Alright, one more time. Lost in the Wilds, so we're testing 3-3. Is it 3-3? It is 3-3. We'll go 4-3. 4-3. Chaos Bag says Skull. That's a -3, so we fail because we're in a cave. Excuse me. Still a touch of bronchitis from last week. All right. Well, we're gonna take 2 damage, 2 horror. So we will take 2 horror. Man, we may have to reset this all over again. Hello, Aegeus. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it today. And I can't explore anymore. You cannot move or explore, so we might as well play a machete. Alright, well, that sucked. Not a great start. everybody's going to take a damage and a horror. Oh, we're going to have to resign automatically here. Oh, shoot. No, I should have only... Oh, I took 2 horror. Right. Okay, so we're basically resigning next turn. Oh, jeez. All right. If we make it out... Whoops. Yeah, that's right. Well, this is not a great start. If we can make it through this turn, we're just going to end up resetting. Calling in favors in Dr. Mylan Christopher. Let's see how we do in terms of Mythos cards. Roland gets a Poisonous Spores, and Joe gets a Lost in the Wild. Glad it's that way, because otherwise Roland probably would have gone insane. So Joe is going 2 versus 3. We can just take the horror. It's no big deal. We get a skull, so that's going to be a -3. So he's going to take 3 horror. And we're going to reset. Fun. Fun. Awesome. All right, so we're already... everybody's already... losing their minds in the jungle. So we will reset again. Let's see if we can't get off to a better start. Let's see here. So this is, I don't know how many games we've played at this. This is like our 3rd tonight. And I think we played like 4 the other day. So we're on like our 7th game of Heart of the Elders Part 2. So yeah, it's I don't think you should have to play any scenario 7 times in order to finish it. What's my other card? This one. Okay, let's go and get Joe's deck. Yeah, I'll be Yeah, I really am. I'm a glutton for punishment tonight, John. I feel like I want to do it right. I want to show just how bad this scenario can be, and it's certainly showing me giving a very good demonstration. Well, you can resign on turn 1. That's the thing. It'd be nice, yeah, but and then advance. That would be the nice thing, yeah. If you could just resign and advance. Unfortunately, it's resign and replay. That's the big issue. Yeah, I think like what they should do is like make it so like I don't know. I don't even know how you fix this thing at this point. Like maybe like I know it's 6 pillars, maybe make like I think the biggest issue I have with this is that Boundary Beyond is so punishing that if you screw that scenario up, then you're in for, you need to get basically like, if you do really well at Boundary Beyond, you're going to get maybe 1 or 2 pillars, and then you've got to get like 4 or 5 more, and it's just the way this thing is set up is. All right, we need to hide these. And like, I know you can, if I had mapped out the stuff, I'd be able to start with the location and play. Like, there's lots of little shortcuts involved, but if you don't have that stuff, it's just, you're just in, you've got to do it the hard way. And that, let's see how we do for our hands. We get an art student, an overpower, a field work, a machete, and a eureka. I'm going to keep the art student and the machete. And we get a calling in favors, an overpower, and Alejandro. And Joe gets an emergency cash, a 45 automatic, a take the initiative, haunted, and eureka. That's a really garbage hand. Sorry, we get 1 for haunted first. We're keeping the magnifying glass. At this point, I just want investigation. Vicious blow, unexpected courage, steadfast, and vicious blow. Well, he can certainly power up Roland to kill stuff. All right, let's do this. This is it. This is it. Forgotten Age, John says, Forgotten Ages just mean turned off a friend of mine to the Arkham Horror LCG, the equipment guessing game, being incentivized not to fight serpents with his fighter character because of vengeance, etc. Yeah, that's pretty much a perfect storm right there of reasons not to reasons not to play the game. If you want to be a fighter, but you're told not to fight anything, that's not going to work. All right, well, we're ready to go again. Let's give this another shuffle. We will compass. There's time-racked woods. There's the circuitous trail. And there's the rope bridge. Oh, geez, not this again. We'll throw that up there. We're going to compass again, so we'll get to look at one more. There's River Canyon. Let's do it one more time. And we get ants. Well, we can remove ants. Okay, so Roland will explore. We get River Canyon, rope bridge, low on supplies, so everybody loses 2. And then we shuffle, and now we're back to... Okay, let's do some setup. I'm going to get the machete out. And we got one more action. Let's explore one more time. Come on, give me what I need. Ants right off the bat. Okay, so I'm going to lose my machete. Yeah, if you're yeah, I know, like, the designers like to change things up, and it's just like in the one scenario it's just like, oh, you want to gather clues, and then they'll switch that up and say, actually, you don't want to gather clues. And that can be very frustrating if you're used to playing a certain way. I know they did that in a couple of scenarios in the Lord of the Rings LCG, where it's just like, oh, you want to go as fast as possible, and then if you do that, you end up dying because you end up getting squashed by 3 or 4 trolls or something like that. It's like, if you're accustomed to trying to to be fast, you're not going to succeed. Well, we need to pass this ants check or we lose our machete. We are at 2 versus 4. We're at 3 versus 4. We are at 5 versus 4. We'll go 6 versus 4. Chaos bag. Ah, there's the skull, -3. So for each point you fail by, so we fail by 1, discard a random card from your hand. So Random discard, we lose our overpower. So, not great. We go to the enemy phase. We need to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. No. 1, 2, 3. I think he had 2. Yeah, 2. So we should be at 3 and 1. Yeah, I think if you're doing blind runs of campaigns, I think you're almost guaranteed to have a bad time. Like with this one, people went into it, they had no idea what supplies they needed, so of course you're just going to end up in all sorts of trouble that way. In other campaigns, like I think the Circle Undone, there's a bunch of stuff you need to collect along the way, and of course if you don't collect some of that stuff, you can end up in trouble. In this one, again, like Boundary Beyond, you hit that and do badly, you not only screw up this scenario, but you also lose Ichtaka for the remainder of the campaign, and you can't complete her quest line, which is rough. So there's lots of things that can happen that can be a stumbling block when you're going in blind. So we get Dr. Mylan Christopher for Joe, and I need to look at... I keep forgetting his bloody hunch deck. Let's see what it was. Preposterous Sketches. That's fine. All right. So we've taken the damage. We go to Mythos phase. Roland draws the Apex Strangleweed. And that's bad. We can actually try to kill the Apex Strangleweed. It's got Retaliate. 5 versus 3. But we're sitting at the cave. That's the big problem, because of those skulls will kill us. We've got a lot of... Yeah, I've forgotten many a hunch plays here. I think we're gonna try to kill this Apex Strangleweed, and if we don't, we're just gonna. I think this is my last game of this. If I don't do it this time, I'm just gonna call it, because I'm tired of playing this scenario. I'm so tired of playing this scenario. Joe gets Lost in the Wild, so we need to make a 3 versus 2. Or we're going to take a bunch more horror. We've got a Steadfast. Do we have 10 or more? That's 14 minus 4 is 10. Yeah, so we can commit the Steadfast for all three of those. So we're up to 5 versus 3. Still not enough to get over the skulls, but just enough to get over draw -2. So we do actually pass that. All right. Let's see if we can't do something here. Joe has the compass. Let's draw Joe's hunch deck first. Joe's hunch deck gives us a Preposterous Sketches. That's not going to be helpful. Let's use the compass. Come on, show me something good here. Lost in the Wilds, Circuitous Trail, Time-Racked Woods. So the Lost in the Wilds goes to the bottom. We'll do it one more time. We get Path of Thorns, Path of Thorns. Circuitous Trail's annoying as hell. We'll do it one more time. Rope Bridge. Oh, for Pete's sakes. This is driving me mad. So we're going to draw... So Roland will explore. We know we're getting 3 locations right off the bat. And then we get Serpent's Haven. There's a 4th location. Then we get... Oh, we found it! We found the Temple of the Fang! Oh... The gods are smiling today. We get to move to Temple of the Fang. All right. 2 clues, 2 shroud location, probably the best card that we could have hoped for of the 3. Temple of the Fang is probably the best. All right. We have two actions remaining. Let's just do some exploring. Some investigating. We will go 3 versus 2. Sure. Why not? That's a elder thing. That's -3, and if you fail, you take a horror. Uh-oh. I got one more. Sure. Oh, I have the Apex Strangleweed. I can't do that. Shoot. All right. Well, we know what our thing is. Okay, now I'm just getting sloppy. Sorry about that. We have the Apex Strangleweed to worry about before we can do anything. Well, we know it's the Temple of the Fang, if we can get there. Let's try to kill this Strangleweed. We are a 4-5 versus 3. Joe will throw a vicious blow to make it 6 versus 3. Chaos Bag says Elder Thing. That is a -3. So we hit it and we deal 1, 2, 3 damage. Let's do that one more time. Roland will attack. We will commit the vicious blow. And Chaos Bag gives us a 0. So we have killed the Apex Strangleweed. Look at us. We have achieved a small measure of victory. So we could maybe get 3 victory points if we're lucky. Oh, is that thing? Oh, no way. It's massive, isn't it? I believe massive enemies are engaged with you, so my machete does not... I can never remember the massive rules. Take a quick peek here. So, yeah, if he is engaged, if he's considered engaged with us, which I think he is, then we don't kill the Strangleweed this turn. At which point, I think I would just once again resign and reset and just... Alright, where are we? Massive. To be engaged with each investigator, yeah, so... All right. Okay, so he's taken only 4 damage. Because of this stupid guy up here, the winged serpent. We cannot kill him this turn, unfortunately. I'm just gonna resign with Roland. I think we've had enough of this crap for one night. We'll play through with Joe just to make sure. He's gonna take damage and stuff here, but he's gonna take 2 damage and 2 horror during the enemy phase. As long as we don't draw a Lost in the Wilds. Roland drew his cover up. There's a Eureka. Let's go to the Mythos phase. And we get Voice of the Jungle, so we just resign. All right, well, that's a lot of games. Was that like the 4th one tonight? Let me see here. We played Heart. Oh, that was our 8th game of Heart of the Elders Part 1. We played it 4 times the last stream, and now we've played it another 4 times this stream. So I think that's enough. I am going to... Let's play Heart of the Elders Part 2 and see if we don't have any better luck. We'll assume we got 2 experience points, 2 VPs just out of the... because we have to clear one of those locations. And we will move on. Thank you very much. So... if anything, this has just been a textbook case of why this scenario is such a pain in the butt. So I am going to start a different... let's do Heart of the Elders Part 2. Hopefully that will be more interesting than watching me sit and spin my wheels at the Cavern Maw for multiple turns. All right. So, Breath of Fresh Air, different scenario. We'll see if we can't do a little bit better here. No, we don't want that. And that. So he has this, and he has 2. They are both poisoned. To remember that, in case that's important. I think it may be for this one. All right, Heart of the Elders Part 2. All right. So we get to start with the other side of this up. The Mouth of Kinyan, the Depths Beneath, 2 shroud location with 1 clue per investigator. Action, check your supplies if you have a map. Look at the top 2 cards of the exploration deck. Discard each treachery looked at by this effect. Shuffle the exploration deck. Do I have a map? I do not have a map. So we will not be doing that. All right. Moving on. Let's see how we do for card draw. Roland gets Chronophobia, his 38 special. Alejandro, a logical reasoning, a machete. So we get rid of the Chronophobia and we draw an art student. Like the machete. Oh, we've got his special gun. We'll keep the machete. What does he do? Ancient location, exhausted drop, +1 ancient location. I think these are ancient locations. They might be ancient locations, so he might be... Let's keep Alejandro around. Oh, we get another art student anyway. And an inquiring mind. I love how when you mulligan cards, you always seem to get the card you mulliganed. At least that's my experience. So we've got the hunch deck. And let's see how we do here. Joe is going to get a beat cop, the death card, a magnifying glass, his detective Colt 1911s, Dr. Mylan Christopher. Holy crap. Wow. That is an amazing hand from an investigation standpoint. Dr. Mylan Christopher, magnifying glass, and death card. So we're not going to use the beat cop. Do we keep the gun around? We might as well keep the gun around. And we get an emergency cash. So fantastic hand for Joe Diamond there. Hi, Steve. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. Yeah, we're moving on. We're moving on to... we were trying to play a campaign, and unfortunately, Heart of the Elders is part 1 is not a great scenario. So we are on part 2. Hopefully, it will go better. I think we're ready to start here. So we will go... let's go... So he's already at 5. So we can play the magnifying glass for free to boost him to a 6. Then we can play Dr. Mylan Christopher for 4 to go up to a 7 investigate on the first turn, 7 intellect on the first turn. And let's try to grab ourselves a clue. 7 versus 2. We get a skull. That's a -3. But we do grab a clue. So so far, so good. It's one more clue than we grabbed in the 2 previous playthroughs of the other one. So Roland's going to grab his gun. He's got 4 ammo. We could grab Alejandro. Or we could just wait. Hi, David McAndrew. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it today. We are playing Heart of the Elders Part 2 after fruitlessly spinning our wheels on Heart of the Elders Part 1 for about an hour. So glad we are moving on here. We have got 2 actions left. I think we just explore. Let's see how we do here. Visibility nobody. Shuffle these up. We get the crystal pillars. That is not good. We get the Hall of Idolatry. That is not good. We get Pit Trap. So we can... we have to take Pit Trap, test 3 agility to attempt to jump the gap. For each point you fail by, take a damage. So we are going 2 versus 3. We are going to play our Inquiring Mind to go 5 versus 3. Chaos Bag says -1, so we pass. So that is out of the way. That was our second action. Let's explore again. Crystal Cavern, Crystal Pillars again. Vast Passages. That is fair game. So we get to move here. Vast Passages, 2 shroud location with 2 clues as an additional cost for you to explore. While at Vast Passages, check your supplies. If no investigator is at this location has binoculars, you must spend 1 additional action. We did bring binoculars, so we're okay there. So we just need the 2 clues. And that will be... that will be our turn. We just finished the second scenario tonight. Well, congratulations, David. Glad you're kicking off your Forgotten Age campaign, and I wish you all the best in it. I'm glad you weren't here for the first part of this scenario. That's all I can say without don't want to spoil it for you, but it's rough. It is rough. So we are done. We are done our turn, so we can actually go to the upkeep phase. So Joe draws a Beat Cop, and I get Chronophobia. So that is going to be a couple of actions gone. We go to our first Mythos phase. Roland, he draws a Serpent, Fang of Yig. And Joe draws a Snake Scourge. If you are poisoned, it gains Surge. Oh, he gets a Serpent of Yoth. Oh, nice. Wow. But he's just a normal guy at the moment. But Snake Scourge blanks all my items. So, oh, tarot cards aren't items. That's interesting. Okay, so what do we do about this serpent? Holy cow. I think we're going to have to go back for him. So I think Joe, God, I can't afford to take Chronophobia damage either. Joe can try to shoot this guy down. And I'm poisoned, so I can't play cards or commit cards to skill tests. So we're just going 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 3 because of the gun. 7 versus 3. Chaos Bag says, oh my God. Come on, Chaos Bag. Come on. Come on. A -5. I think there were only two tokens in the bag that could have hurt me there, and that was one of them. So 7 minus 5 is 2, so he has Retaliate, so we take a damage and a horror. Wow, this could be over quick. Second action. Let's do it again. 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 3. There's an Elder Sign. Okay. So after we defeat an enemy, discover a clue at your location. So we haven't done that quite yet. We did deal him 2 damage, though. Last time, 7 versus 3, -2. So we do kill the Fang of Yig. And we get a clue. We need 6 clues in order to advance. We have 2. Yeah, that -5, you wouldn't expect it to pop up that often, but man, oh man, I seem to draw it an awful lot. Now I have another issue here. How do I deal with this guy? Man, oh man. Roland can tell. We need to do the... Maybe there's an answer here. No. Draw logical reasoning from the hunch deck. Maybe we just... My turn. Is it at the end of your turn I take a direct horror? Man. Okay. We are going to need an ally, and quick. So items are blank. 2 versus 3. And I don't have anything that can really help me. So maybe we just attack him? He doesn't have retaliate or anything like that, so it's not like he can hurt us. We can soften him up at least. Let's go 5 versus 3. Chaos Bag says nothing. Chaos Bag says +1. Well, look at you, Joe. So we hit him for a damage. Let's do it one more time. 4 versus 3? Yeah, those aren't good odds. Let's commit the Colts. We'll go 6 versus 3. Chaos Bag says -2. So he takes another damage. And I guess we'll just hit him. Try to hit him one more time. Soften him up at least. We're going 4 versus 3 this time. Maybe the Chaos Bag will be nice to us? No. -2, so that's fine. So we are going to take... so we took a horror there. We go to the enemy phase. We take 2 damage and 2 horror from the Serpent of Yoth. Upkeep, we draw a... Joe draws a Pathfinder, and Roland gets a Calling in Favors. Let's see how we do this turn. Mythos phase. Roland. Roland gets a brood of... All the enemies seem to be coming out right on top of one another here. And so a brood of Yig for Roland. And Joe gets a Ill Omen. Choose a location where there is at least one investigator. Place 1 doom on that location. Each investigator at the chosen location takes a horror. I guess we're putting it on our location. So we will take a horror. Put that on Dr. Mylan. All right. Well, are we even going to make it through the caves? I was hoping this would go better, but so far it's only gone worse. If we shortcut back... Yeah, the problem is we can't kill the serpent this turn. If I shortcut back, if Joe tanks the enemies for a turn, I need to get rid of that chronophobia. I cannot sit there and take chronophobia damage. I could go 3 versus 2, but man, you really need to be at least 3 up with this chaos bag. There's like -1s, -2s, -3s. Like, he can just keep beating on this serpent, but that's not going to do us a whole lot of good. Unless Roland can get out of this. If we shoot this guy down, it would take us 2 actions to kill him. 2 actions to kill him. Then we play an ally and take a horror. I think that's what we've got to do. So Roland, he will use his last shot to try to damage this brood. So he is going 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 2. At least we've taken the -5 out of the bag, and we draw a 0. So he gets 2. Now we just have to club him to death. We're going to go 4 versus 2. Can't pitch the machete. I don't want to pitch Alejandro either. So we're going to go 4 versus 2. Chaos bag, -2. Okay. We kill that guy. We grab this clue. We use an action, our final action, to play Alejandro. And that'll be it. Okay, then our turn ends and we take a direct. Oh, it's a direct. Shoot. So that didn't help us. That didn't help us as much as I had hoped it would. Alright, well, we're gonna probably die. Unless Joe can pull some magic out of his ass here. Let's see what his hunch check says. Oh, logical reasoning. That would be good. That could heal some horror if we can get there. Unfortunately, we're not in very good shape to get there. Do we just try to beat this guy up? And if we get incredibly lucky, we kill him? We don't have anything else we can really do. So I guess we're just going to try to beat this guy. 4 versus 3. Not great odds. Chaos Bag gives us a -1, so we do hit him once. But can we hit him 2 more times? That's the trick. 4 versus 3, Chaos Bag says. -5. We'll do it one more time. Chaos Bag says Elder Sign. That's a +1. So we hit him for 2. We got him for 2 damage out of 3. Unfortunately, that goes. We shuffle the logical reasoning back in, and during the enemy phase, we're going to take another 2 horror and 2 damage. So we're going to take the damage and horror on Mylan, and we'll take a horror. So Mylan takes the hit. If we can get out of this, maybe we can. Maybe we'll be okay. But no. Roland draws his cover up. All right. So that's bad news. So we put 3 clues on cover up. When you would discover 1 or more clues at your location, discard that many clues from cover up instead. When the game ends, if there are any clues on cover up, suffer 1 mental trauma. So we need to take 3 actions to discover 3 clues to get rid of this. If Joe is at Roland's location, he can do it, which would be very good. So I think Roland's coming back anyway. So yeah. Okay, what did Joe get? Joe got a steadfast. That's a couple of combat icons. So, and he is at 8, so he only gets it gets an additional 2. So he would be 6 versus 3. That's pretty good. That's not bad. So we have a shot. We add a doom. We are at 4 of 7. Roland's card is going to be Poisonous Spores. Okay, well, we want to get the hell out of here. Joe's card is going to be... Oh, you gotta be kidding me! No! No, 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 no. Double Poisonous Spores? Are you kidding me? This game really has it in for me tonight. Man, I stream for the first time in a month and it's just like, okay, buddy, we're going to teach you a lesson. So we get double Poisonous Spores. At the end of the round, each investigator at the attached location who is poisoned takes 2 horror. Each investigator at the attached location who is not poisoned must put the set aside poisoned instead. But okay, so we're taking 2 horror regardless of where we go. Double Poisonous Spores. You've got to be kidding me. Roland could have run away. We could have run back. Okay, so how do we do this now? Well, the direct horror will kill us, so let's get rid of that first. I feel like we need to play another weapon. So let's grab our machete. And then we're going to take 2 horror, which is going to be Alejandro. Thanks, Alejandro. Glad you could turn up, but you're going to die right away here. Now, do I want to play... No, I don't have any icons to help him with. So Joe is going to try to single-handedly kill the Serpent of Yoth. So we get 2 combat icons, so we're at 6 versus 3. Chaos Bag says -2. That, my friend, is a dead Serpent of Yoth. So we did get a VP out of this. All right. I guess it doesn't much matter where Roland goes. We might as well try to discover this clue. 4, 5, 6 versus 2. Chaos Bag says 0. So we grab this clue. And we're going to move. Here at the end of the turn, everybody takes 2 horror. Joe gets... Oh, we needed to check what his thing was. Could be as we... Oh, it was a logical reasoning. Okay, that... Oh, we can't play that. Because we would have moved. Shoot. Yeah, maybe we'll draw it again. So we're going to take 2 horror. Yeah, you're right, Juicy. All the bad luck in one stream. Yeah, it's brutal right now here. And Roland got himself a Beat Cop 2. Which is good because we're going to need, at the end of the turn, have a great day at work, Juicy. We'll see you again soon. Alejandro will die. And he will take 2 horror. Joe will take 2 horror. So he's at 5 of 6. Well, so we can explore next turn, but we are living on the edge. Turn 5. Roland's card is a Fang of Yig. Okay, so he's poisoned still, so he's going to be 5 versus 3. And he'll die to a retaliate. And Joe gets a Snake Scourge, which is blanking his items and surges into... Oh, you've got to be freaking kidding me. All right. I don't think it was meant to be. That's the 3rd poisonous spores in 2 rounds. There are days when this game just gets you. Just gets you. And this is one of those days. So, how do we deal with this? We kill the Fang. It's going to take us 2 actions to kill the Fang. Then we've got to leave. Who's got the binoculars? We just need to have binoculars, right? Yeah, we just need to have the binoculars. So we can... All right, so I think what we do is go Joe first. And we get a no stone unturned. I don't think that's going to help me right now. Let's explore. I'd like to move forward if I can. So we're looking for, what do we need here? Pretty much anything, actually. Anything will do. We get the square. The square is good. Okay, so he moves there. The Hall of Idolatry is a 3-shroud location with 2 clues forced. After you put Hall of Idolatry into your play by successfully exploring, check the campaign log. If there are 5 or more tally marks under Yig's Fury, draw the top card of the encounter deck. Top 2 cards instead if there are 10 or more tally marks. Oh, I can't remember how many tally marks I have. I cannot remember that. So we are going to just assume worst case. We will say, no, there weren't 10. I know there aren't 10. There's maybe 5. So we'll draw the top card of the encounter deck. It is a Curse of Yig. So he is... That's not going to kill him. Alright. So we didn't die. Now we want to grab some clues. So we'll go... we don't get our magnifying glass, but we get that. So we're at 5 versus 3. Ooh. That's rough. I think we're going to play... I think rather than investigate, because if I draw that elder thing, I'm -3 and I take a horror and I die. So I can't do that. I'm going to use play No Stun Unturned for free to look at the top 6 cards of my deck and draw it. Maybe that gets me something. Gets me a magnifying glass, an inquiring mind, haunted, steadfast, take the initiative, or a machete. I think I take the machete. And got one action left. I think or do we test the Curse of Yig and try to get rid of that? We'd be 2 versus 2. I'm going to draw a card, I think. We get an unexpected courage, so that's good. All right, Roland, we're going to use your shortcut to get out of the spore area. We're going to machete this guy down. We're going 5 versus 3. Do we have anything we can commit? Because 1 retaliate kills me. So we will commit the unexpected courage from Joe. So we will go 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 3. Chaos Bag says 0, so he takes 2 damage. And we need 1 more attack. No, I need to keep the beat cop. But I'm only going 5 versus 3. Yeah, Joe's going to commit his machete, so we can go 6 versus 3. Chaos Bag says auto fail. Oh, no. That's game over for Roland. Because the retaliate kills him. Bloody auto fail. Alright, well, Roland is dead. He will take another physical trauma. Where'd my pencil go? So he's taken 3 physical trauma, 1 mental trauma, and he is dead. And the Fang of Yig is there now. So we go to the enemy phase, and it attacks Joe and kills him too. Well, that was almost too perfect. Fang of Yig retaliates, kills Roland, engages Joe, kills him during the enemy phase, takes out 2 investigators in 1 turn. Well done, Fang of Yig. You are the man. Let us all bask in the Fang of Yig's glory, because he is amazing. So, Yeah, that was a game. That's a game of Arkham Horror LCG. So Joe is up to 3 VPs. Oh yeah, he takes another because of the cover-up. So that would be... he's up to 3 physical and 2 mental. Thank you, David, for reminding me. So Roland has taken 3 physical and 2 mental trauma, and Joe is up to 3 physical trauma. The city boys are not doing well in the jungle. They are not doing very well at all. So that will end the our run through Heart of the Elders Part 1 and Part 2. We gave up on Heart of the Elders Part 1 because it is an infuriating scenario to play. So we assumed we got 2 VPs out of that, and I think we got 1 out of this one, because we killed the Serpent of Yoth. So we get out of the 2 scenarios, we end up with 3 VPs. Man, oh man, this is not going very well at all. That Fang of Yig play though, that was impressive. I will give the Fang of Yig credit for that. That's killing 2 investigators in 1 turn is you don't see that very often. So that is going to do it for Heart of the Elders. Finally, I'm going to keep going. We're going to keep going until these 2 are either dead or victorious. It's getting pretty tough, though. We're going to have to pick up some Elder Sign amulets and whatnot to keep Roland in the game, because he's taking too much mental trauma. The physical I can handle. The mental is what's hurting us here. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thanks to everyone for showing up today. It was very impromptu, and I will be back soon with more great Arkham Horror LCG content. If there is anything that you would like me to stream, drop me a line at manfromleng@gmail.com. And I will do my best to put together a video for you. So this will do it for Heart of the Elders. It took us 9 games to get through the 2 scenarios, so not great. This one ends on turn 5 when a Fang of Yig swoops in and kills Roland on a retaliate on with an auto fail, and then engages Joe and kills him too. So yeah, a very rough run through Heart of the Elders Part 2. But thanks again, everyone, and stay tuned. I will be back in the next couple days with more great Arkham Horror LCG action. Stay tuned, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.